Oh boy, wasn't that a thrill ride? At least they got the win. That's the main thing. Leafs in Winnipeg tonight. And much had been made about their 5-game skid, the goaltending not being up to snuff, new bodies in the lineup, lots of injuries, guys going out of the lineup. And tonight was probably one of the closest games of the season I've seen the Leafs play against another team. Very, very even. But it didn't look like things were going to go that way at the outset. And let's see if I can remember in my head all of these goals. 5 goals in the first 12 minutes of the first period. Leafs started hot. It looked like it was maybe going to be a blowout or something. I'm not sure how it was, maybe half a minute in or something like that, and Matthews got the Leafs on the board. Justin Hall, or no, it was Marner, sorry. Marner, or was it Hall? I can't remember who it was. I think Hall had an assist on it, but I thought it was Marner. Yeah, it was Marner. Had the puck along the right side boards in his own zone and spotted Matthews lurking in the weeds up at the enemy blue line and fired this nice outlet pass. And he just went in alone and beat Hellebuck on the blocker side. I think Hellebuck thought he was going glove because at first I thought I saw him go to break left and then go up, and it was too late. It was in the net. And so first shot of the game goes in the net. Minute 18 in, and Leafs got the next goal. Simmons this time, which is great to see because he's been looking for a goal for a while now since he got back in the lineup. And this one was kind of started by Hall in his own zone, threw it up the right side boards. Simmons controlled it, had a guy on him, so he just dished off to Tavares, who was streaking towards the Winnipeg end, gained the zone, stopped up. And in the meantime, Simmons had curled around and was moving down the slot. Tavares fed him. Simmons went on the backhand, protected the puck from the guy that was draped all over him, and beat Hellebuck with the backhand. First 2 shots of the game go in past Hellebuck. And so we're thinking, okay, this is looking real good. 2-0, the Leafs are on it. Let's just keep up the pressure, but play good defense, and we should have a nice easy win here. Not so much. 3 minutes and something in, Winnipeg got on the board, and this one was kind of Campbell came out to play the puck, got it over to Muzzin in the left corner, and then Muzzy was just a little too soft on the puck, a little not enough urgency maybe, and he just coughed it up to some Winnipeg player that was in behind the Leaf net. He centered out front to Scheifele, and it was bang bang in the net. And then at about, I think it took a little while, but I think maybe around the 9-10 minute mark, Winnipeg would score again, and this one was kind of another bad defensive play by the Leafs. The teams had been scrumming the puck in the Leaf end for a little while, and along the right side, I don't know who it was, but one of the Leafs went to throw the puck through the slot to Riley, who was kind of in front of Campbell and was kind of all alone, but the pass was way offline, and it went past Riley in front of him over to the Winnipeg player who was on the right wing, and was like, oh, look at this gift, right? So then he actually went to make a pass cross crease to a Winnipeg player who was on the left side, and Campbell went to reach for the puck with his goal stick as it was going across, and he got a piece of it, but not enough, and so that it kind of set the puck on a perfect tee for the guy that was waiting for the puck, right? And then he put it in. So just a bit of a bad defensive play, and then a bit of bad luck for Campbell, and it was a tie game. 11:59, Leafs would regain the lead at 3-2, and this one was who got this one? It was Matthews, Simmons, Spezza. At first we thought it was Thornton. So it was a delayed penalty for Winnipeg, and the Leafs had got the extra guy out there, and they'd been working it around the zone for a little while, and they were in kind of a cycle of shifting guys around and putting it back to the point for the next guy that would fill in, and they kept doing that. And then finally Thornton was like, enough of this! Ah! And he unleashed a shot that beat Hellebuck low on the blocker side. Brossois, because they had pulled Hellebuck after this is the 3-2 goal. This is the goal that chased Hellebuck. So originally it was thought Thornton scored the goal, but Spezza was kind of in front providing a screen, and it just glanced off his shin pad and went in, so it was actually Spezza's goal. So 3-2, 12 minutes in, and then from that point onwards it settled into more of a regular kind of game, right? So Hellebuck gave up the first 2 shots of the game, went in on him. Campbell, first 2 shots, one of them went in, right? So it was a really rough start for the goalies. And 5 goals scored in the first 12 minutes. But then after that, like I said, it settled down for the rest of the period. And they went into the second period, and for the first half of the period there, it kind of continued. But then a little bit more scoring happened. This one, I believe the Leafs scored first, maybe at the 12-minute mark or 13-minute mark, and it was Marner, and I'm glad he scored because I had him in my Tim Hortons hockey daily picks thing, so that'll earn me at least 10 points, maybe more if I can get somebody else to score tonight. And so it was kind of a weird breakout for the Leafs as they moved through the neutral zone towards attacking Winnipeg in their own end. It was like a scrambly kind of breakout. It was like Winnipeg was checking them so closely that it was just like, oh, I got to get rid of the puck. So then whoever would shuffle it off to whoever, and then they do the same. Like, it was just this really disjointed breakdown. But they gained the zone, and then finally Matthews was able to control it in the middle of the slot, and then he just flipped it over to Marner on the left wing, and Marner was like, I've had enough of this shit, and the puck was rolling on end, and it was standing up, and he just fucking hammered a one-time slap shot that went bar down. And you never know what's going to happen with a puck that's on its side like that, right? He could have friggin' drove that thing 400 yards through the end of the MTS Center or whatever. Like, you just never know what's going to happen with those kind of pucks. So the fact that he put it bar down, not the fact that he just got it on net and scored, but it was the perfect shot, was pretty remarkable. So there's a 4-2 lead for the Leafs. Winnipeg would cut it again. And this time, I can't remember. Yeah, this happened in the second period. They both scored in the second, I think. So a little while later, 17, 18 minutes into the second period. It was I don't know if it was dumped into the left corner in the Leaf end or whatever, but yeah, I think it was a dump in. Whoever was able to retrieve it and beat the Leaf defenseman to it. And then he just centered it to Connor, who ripped one past Jackie. And it was 4-3 game. So they would escape the period still with the lead. And into the third period, we would have no goals until the Leafs scored an empty netter really late after Winnipeg would pull the goalie. So, and it was a neat play too, because Foligno made his Leaf debut tonight, and he had a chance to score the goal as he kind of broke down the right wing towards the empty net, but he stopped up and then centered to Marner, who got the goal and then who fished the puck out of the net for Foligno for his first point as a Leaf. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, the Leafs would seal it with a 5-3 win. So what I liked about this game was that the Leafs got off to a really good start. They came out flying. They got 2 early goals. What I didn't like is that they gave it back pretty easily. And you can't really pin anything on Campbell this game. I thought this was a really good bounce back game for him. All 3 goals were kind of like bang bang plays, like where you don't really have a chance, and the one bad luck one off his paddle. So that was really nice to see that. And I also like that the Leafs seemed to be hitting a bit more tonight, and maybe getting a little bit angry at times, which I really like. And I don't care if they take penalties doing that, as long as you fucking take a pound of flesh, just fucking whack away, I've had enough of this pussy hockey, right? Like, I miss hockey from the 80s. Oh my god, do I miss it in early 90s, just when people would just go fucking savage on each other. So yeah, it was really encouraging to see the Leafs, invested in the game physically, because that just makes it so much better to watch. And I think it makes it better for them. It makes the players more interested too, rather than just a kind of a game of shinny, right? Like, everybody's laughing, joking around. Like, when it gets a little more serious, when you start adding in that physicality and a little more competitive, I think. So that was nice to see. In terms of overall Leaf performances, Bogosian's going to be out for about a week, they said. So Sandin was back in the lineup. Dermott was back, so I'm not sure there obviously wasn't anything too wrong with him. So Dermott and Sandin played together, and I thought they did a really good job. Um, so the defensive core, I thought, for the most part, they played really well. It was just a few miscues here and there that ended up in the back of the net, like Muzzy in the corner on the first goal there, and then the bad pass to Riley. Just some bad turnovers and stuff like that. But overall, other than those kind of couple glaring mistakes here or there, I thought they had a pretty good night. And then in terms of the forwards, Hyman's still out, and Foligno was in, so Nick Robertson was out. I didn't see him. Yeah, and that must have been the only change. I thought there wasn't any one player that really stood out as dominating all game. Marner and Matthews, of course, had their moments and got their points. But I thought everybody kind of had. You could pick any player off the Leaf forward group and say, here's a little highlight pack from them, right? I thought Engvall used, like, he's such a big dude, but you never really see him get that much physicality going. But he seemed like he had to be in his bonnet at some point in this game, because he was running around on one shift, especially just hitting everybody he could find. So he had a really good game in that way. Simmons had a really good game, getting his first goal in a while. Thornton and Spezza, I thought, looked really energized on their line together and were passing really well. And then, of course, they combined for that goal. Tavares, Nylander, and Galchenyuk, I think, had a really solid game. They each had their chances. Galchenyuk took a guy out of the lineup when he laid a good hit on him. They'll probably say it was a headshot, but it wasn't. So that was good to see, him getting physical as well. So yeah, I just think that this was just an overall really good team win. And if they can just eliminate a few little untidy defensive things here and there, this was actually a really good game. If they could, 2 defensive miscues in this game was 5-1. That's kind of the truth of the matter, right? Like it was a very even game with some decent pace to it. But I thought that the Leafs were that little bit sharper than the Jets, and if it wasn't for a couple just brain farts here and there, it could have been, the score could have been a lot more lopsided. So, but yeah, overall a really close game, entertaining game, more physicality to it. Like I said, really happy to see Jack Campbell get the win, and yeah, we'll see what happens next. So big night to bump that slump, and let's hope they can go on a bit of a heater here going into the playoffs, because I think now they only have, at the most, 10 games left, maybe 9. So we're coming down to crunch time, where you don't want to be limping into the playoffs and say, oh, we'll just turn it on, right? Because that's a really hard thing to do. We got to get them on a good roll here and go into the playoffs kind of on the upswing, right? Rather than the or not the So this is a good step towards doing that, beating the second place team that's right behind them. And let's hope they can string some more of these together, get some bodies back eventually before the playoffs starts, so that they can ice a full team for the first time in a while, right? For fuck's sake. And yeah, and then you never know what can happen come playoff time. So can't wait. Peace.